The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I think preventing fraud in government should be completely nonpartisan. It's not a Democrat issue or a Republican issue. Yet almost the entirety of the Republican dais is filled with people sitting here listening to the entire hearing. And literally the entire Democrat dais is empty. I think that's, quite frankly, a disgrace. I think it's a disgrace to the people who pay taxes to know that there's an entire party that does not care whether taxpayer money is burnt.
By exposing the fraud, I actually also exposed the politicians and media who worked for years to cover it up. Governor Tim Walz labeled my work as white supremacy and called me a far-right delusional conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, he dropped out of re-election, and he even said he has ended his political career. Now, the highest government-funded daycare in Minnesota has pleaded guilty to daycare fraud, and the largest autism bust in American history has been exposed. Where is Tim Walz in the media now? It just so happens that over 80% of the fraud committed in Minnesota is by the Somali population.
That, my friend, from Capitol Hill earlier today, three hearings going on. We will cover two of them. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche confirmation hearings are underway, and that produced some spectacular moments. Fraud hearing, Senator Moreno is there, and Democrats, as you may have heard, not showing up at the fraud hearing. Massive fraud going on. In fact, now the Labor Department has stepped in New York, I understand, to start looking at the fraud there. Democrats refuse to show up for the fraud hearings. They don't even bother. Your elected Democrats, there are billions and billions of dollars being spent on fraud. Democrats refuse to show up. Welcome. It is the midweek edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Yes, it's Wednesday. Some of us have midweek. Yes, Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media, my friends, and plenty to discuss. As I said, those hearings are underway. A few things before we get to the hearings. This story has made the rounds and is making the rounds. It was an urgent plea that was put out from a man in New Jersey. Cut 19, Carlos. Cut 19 from a man in New Jersey pleading for your help.
I need help. I don't know what to do. My wife is being detained by ICE. She's in Ocean County Jail right now, and I can't get a hold of her. She keeps trying to call me, but they won't let me put money on her card. The kiosk in the Toms River jail is broken, and all the numbers and stuff they gave me wasn't right or wouldn't allow me to put money on her card. And ICE is coming there to pick her up. I need an immigration lawyer. I need help. I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. I'm so broke. But I gotta figure something out. I gotta save her. I need help. I need you to figure out. I don't know. This just happened. I need help. I need my wife. I don't want her to get hurt. I don't want to see her get. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Yesterday, July 13th, my wife was detained by ICE and brought to Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey. This is my attempt to reach out to any news outlets, especially local ones to New Jersey, like News 12 New Jersey or NJ.com, or any journalists or reporters that are local that want to hear our story. My wife is a Canadian citizen, and I'm an American citizen. We've been married for a little over 3 years, and I'm just doing anything I can to get her story heard and bring any help to and attention to her situation so that I can get her released, even if that means back to Canada. My main goal is the safety and well-being of my wife, and that is about it. I don't care what your opinions are of me or the situation. That's kind of irrelevant. All that matters is her safety and her well-being. And
irrelevant,
if anybody
would
like to talk to me, please reach out here.
And thank you. That's Mr. Tracy. His wife was picked up after they found out who she was. Caitlin is her name. Caitlin Tracy. She's 33 years old. She came here on a passport to America. She slapped a teenager during the 4th of July celebrations on the Jersey Shore. Wah! Did she slap the teenager? Wah! Indeed. She slapped the teenager because the teenager was wearing sweatpants that had the word Trump and ICE on it. And she, Miss Canada, didn't like, even though she's in America, she didn't appreciate the freedom of speech that we afford our citizens here. Now, in addition to why this business started, by the way, she's now facing charges of endangering the welfare of a child. It was a minor. Simple assault, harassment, and obstruction, and she is going to be deported back to Canada. She'll be going home. Now, also, the husband that was pleading so tearfully for his wife had posted a video. And that video has been splashed across social media. In the video, he is on his hands and knees in a prayer position. And it's set to music. And the prayer that he is offering on his hands and knees is that Donald Trump and all the Trump family contract cancer. So here's a guy who wished cancer on the president and his whole family of the United States in prayer to God, praying for the death of, well, at least that the Trump family be afflicted with a horrible disease. His wife slaps a teenager because his wife disapproved of the outfit, the word Trump and ICE on the sweatpants that she was wearing, and then ran away. They tracked her down later. She posted a picture of it. She was proud of it, which was an invitation, I suppose, for the police to come get her and then for ICE to come get her. She is being held at Delaney Hall. So the protest, you remember the protest out there? They can now protest another person at Delaney Hall. Again, we will get to the fraud and the Todd Blanche hearing. First, I'd like to just revisit, and I don't know whether this is new. It's making, the problem with X sometimes, people post video or stuff, and you have to always check, when was this out? I didn't have time to check when this was out because I was busy doing other things. But it was Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris was talking tech. So I just thought, well, let me listen to it. So let's all listen to it. Cut 18, Kamala Harris explaining the new technology that's not so new anymore. It's only been here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Anyway, how your information is now in the cloud.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place.
She's pointing to the sky. Your information is in this cloud that's up here above us. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps Ms. Harris doesn't realize this, but the cloud... the cloud that holds your data is not above you in the sky somewhere. It's not. It's they're on land. You know these things we keep fussing about, that you hear all the Democrats fussing about? That, yes, Carlos?
Sorry for interrupting, but the English just scored.
The English scored. That's not good news. I'll explain that in a moment. But anyway, the cloud is not the cloud. It's not up in a physical. It's on Earth in these things that Democrats hate. Kathy Hochul just banned them for a year in New York. Data centers. They're not in the sky above you, Kamala. That's when I've been president. It's scary. Okay, the English just scored. Now, Spain is already going. We know that Spain is already going to the World Cup. Final. We're finally at the finals. And England is playing Argentina. And the winner of that takes on Spain. Folks, Argentina has to win this if this is going to be a correct World Cup. Carlos was looking sad, but no. Can I explain why, if this is going to be a correct World Cup, why Argentina has to win? What are we talking about here? We're talking about England and Spain, perhaps. Don't you understand? This is one of the things I learned from Rush, how to look at sporting events. You have two colonizers that would be playing each other. It would be a battle of two colonial powers, England and Spain, both European colonizers, playing each other for the championship of soccer in the world. Soccer. Football. If Argentina wins, it's the colonizers versus the colonialists, the people that were oppressed by the colonizers. In fact, it would be so amazing to have the Spanish who colonized South America have to meet up with the people that they oppressed and colonized for centuries, playing in a duel-off in the World Cup. Now, England, whatever. Nobody wants to see two colonialists play each other, and in the end, the colonialists win. You have to set up the World Cup to keep it interesting so that the oppressed people have a chance to win over the colonial powers. That is why Argentina has to win today. And if they don't, it will be so hurtful to so many people. And it won't be such a good hurt. That's what it would be like. Today is the birthday. Sweetheart, my sweet Millie Jackson. I used to hang out with Millie. Millie used to go out with my cousin for a minute, Jerry Bledsoe, Jerry B. And I used to hang out over at the house in Teaneck, New Jersey with Millie Jackson. And then once in a while, and Millie was just such a beautiful person. Hurt so good. Millie Jackson. U.S. soul singer, born on this day in 1944. Millie Jackson, happy birthday, darling. Go Argentina. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're going to cover the hearings, but I also wanted to get to this today. This is a montage of things that the Senate candidate from Maine, Abdul Al-Sayed, has said about Medicare for all. And then listen in closely. His wife, let me say, is a physician. His wife is a physician. Go ahead.
I understand you're for Medicaid for all. You referenced that there.
Your policies really aren't in line with democratic socialist ideology, like backing Medicare for all.
Dr. Abdul El Sayed, Sanders, AOC backed, running on Medicare for all.
El Sayed is unapologetic. He says we need Medicare for all.
That was Fox News' Will Cain, CNN, calling out Abdul El Sayed. He's running for the Senate in Michigan. He's a socialist. He demands government-run health care, Medicare for all, but the Washington Free Beacon has a new report that his wife, a licensed psychiatrist, does not take any Medicare or insurance in her practice. She opted out of Medicare. This means patients have to pay cash. Joining us now from Ways and Means, veteran U.S. Army Captain Greg Stubbe. Congressman, good to see you. Congressman, isn't this a bit rich, the hypocrisy here? Her husband is openly running on government-run Medicare for all, government-run health care, but she doesn't take that.
Yeah, another great example of the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party on full display. And they don't take Medicare. A lot of physicians don't, and physicians are leaving practices because the reimbursement rates haven't kept up with health care costs. And why are health care costs so high? Because of Obamacare. So the Democrats tell us the solution to health care is passing Obamacare, and now they tell you that the cost of health care is too high after they passed Obamacare. Health care costs are a problem to the American people, and it's because they passed Obamacare, and we, Republicans, have free market solutions for those type of challenges.
And so here you go. This guy has been running around every speech you hear him talk about it. Medicare, Medicaid for all, we need this. It's basically a one-payer solution. That's what they want. Medicaid for everybody should have it. Your wife's a doctor. Does she take it? No. My wife doesn't take it. She doesn't want to see those Medicare trash people. She wants cash. Don't be bringing me no Medicare. Don't bring me those people that are on that Medicare for all. Except my wife doesn't like those people. This is amazing. James Golden, Snerdley, fastest hour in American media. Yeah, we're going to talk about the hearings, and we have other stuff too. So whatever you do, keep it right here. Fastest hour in American media. I'm telling you, we cover a lot. Go Argentina. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Yeah. On this day in 2015, a judge cut Pharrell Williams a break. He rolled back over $1 million from the hefty damages that they were ordered to pay after the Blurred Lines copyright trial ended up bad for them. Why was that trial? Well, because Robin Thicke and Pharrell lifted Marvin Gaye. This is the Pharrell Blurred Lines, and this is Marvin. Got to give it up from 1977. This one went number one. For Marvin. Don't worry, Princess Di. I'm going to send you the stories I'm talking about. I was texting Princess Di. Anyway, Pharrell caught a break. Love it. And the judge also gave Marvin Gaye's family 50% cut of all future royalties after they stole a song, copyright infringed on the song. I got two stories I want to talk with Princess Di about. The environmentalists are having an S-fit. You know what I mean by that, don't you? They're having an S-fit. Because the Trump administration, Department of Interior and Commerce, this came out last Friday and it kind of got lost, that they're going to, the definition of the word harm is going to be rescinded from the Endangered Species Act. And that has liberals, their panties are in a wad about it. And then there's another story. I'm gonna send Princess Di these stories from KTLA. Apex predators making a big comeback across the western United States. Oh, I think the two of them might be related. But I'm going to ask about that. By the way, do you remember earlier in the week I told you the reason that all these states are suing Paramount, that they don't want Paramount to take over? And what did I say? Let me see if anybody remembers what I said. I said the reason that they're doing it,
because of the owner is a friend of Trump's, and they're going to control the whole the media. They have all.
I didn't say he was a friend of Trump. I said that's what they think. He's a friend of Trump. But you got it. That's right. And I specifically mentioned CNN is in the caboodle. Here's the story of the day from The Hill. FCC Chair Carr says California could drop lawsuit against Paramount Warner Brothers merger if CNN is spun out. And he's saying, he's not advocating for it, but he's saying there was a story that broke a couple of weeks ago. I didn't see the story that said California was floating the idea, according to news reports, of dropping all their antitrust litigation if there was one condition that was met, which is that the purchase involving a CNN was spun out of the deal. In other words, this is about CNN. Just what I said. They are fearful that one of their propaganda outfits, CNN, is going to have to change. And also they're worried about CBS. But they're really worried about CNN. They're already itching and moaning about CBS every week. And that's what all this opposition is about. They're propaganda centers. Told you that was the case. It is correct. Now, let's move on. Hearings. Let's get through some of these. Cut number one. Let's start at the top. Here's cut number one. Todd Blanche.
It's incredible since COVID, the absolute thievery that's happened from the fisc by people in this country. And so we have focused tremendous amount of efforts, not only in the new division, but at every U.S. Attorney's office, with every Inspector General and their offices, the FBI, DHS, and HSI, to just root out this fraud. You have examples of individuals just stealing. So setting up entire centers for autism when there are no patients, when there is no center, and taking millions of dollars of hard-earned taxpayers' money. And so we are very focused on that. We've already, like I said earlier, billions and billions we've already collected in just the past couple of months. That effort is going to go forward for as long as I am in the position that I'm in now, no matter whether I'm confirmed or not. And it's extraordinarily important to every American that this doesn't happen, because we're not talking about whether someone agrees or disagrees with a policy. It's just outright theft by individuals, and unfortunately, many state governments, if they didn't absolutely know what was happening and just encourage it, they certainly stood idly by while it was happening, which is also a problem.
Now, at the same hearing that he had, by the way, there's a 4-minute cut. Not going to play it. Don't have time of Dick Durbin trying to demand that Todd Blanche himself meet with Epstein survivors. He keeps getting the answer, hey, we're open and doing it. I can't do certain things legally. And he just keeps haranguing him. Interesting. Don't have time for it. There's another segment on Epstein. If we can, we'll get to it. If not, I'll hold it for Saturday. But I want to go to this one, Connecticut. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, Connecticut. This senator you have up there, Sheldon Whitehouse. This is part of how Sheldon Whitehouse used his time with acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, cut number 8. Here he is.
How long do you intend to put up with that Kash Patel character? Are you good with his airplane jaunts? Are you confident he's not drinking on the job? Are you sure none of his travel is a pretext for vacation activities like snorkeling, Olympics, and visiting girlfriends? Are you sure he knows what he's doing? Do you vouch for him? Are you willing to look at whether he lied to this committee?
That's an extraordinarily obnoxious question, Senator, and I have full faith in Director Patel and the work that he's doing every day.
Great. You get to own that.
You know what else he should get to own? The way I would also love to hear it answered. What's the matter? Is his skin so dark that you don't want him? You know, Senator, that's right. We already know that there's a bias there because Senator Whitehouse and has not apologized for belonging to an all-white country club up there in Connecticut. No ins allowed. And I don't know who else they block. This guy's a Democrat. What's the matter? Is your real issue with Kash Patel is you don't like a guy that has power because he has brown skin? We know you don't want him in your country clubs there, Sheldon. Is that really what's going on here, Mr. White House? That's your issue with Kash? Really? Because all the rest of this stuff is garbage. So while these hearings were going on, there were other hearings going on with Nick. The other set of hearings about fraud. No Democrats attended. So, here you go. Let's go to Senator Ron Johnson, cut number 9. And here you go, cut 9, Senator Ron Johnson with Nick Shirley.
Correct? I mean, $700 million in cash flowing out of the Minneapolis airport back to, countries in Africa. Have either of you gentlemen kind of investigated the foreign sourcing or an organization of a lot of this fraud? I mean, we're opening up to foreign governments to fund their own operations.
Well, yeah, it's been proven that a lot of the money in suitcases that left Minnesota went back into the hands of people inside Somalia. And for instance, in New York City, where I just did an expose exposing this adult daycare fraud, nobody at these daycares actually knows who the owner is. A lot of them had just been hired within the past month. It's in Miami, you have the Cuban government running these DME companies that are fleecing and quite literally looting from Medicaid. A lot of foreign governments have infiltrated our Medicaid because it's so simple and so easy to defraud.
By the way, we know it's $700 million because government watched it go out. They let it go. They didn't even put the IRS on the case. It's truly remarkable what we're allowing to happen here. So again, Mr. Chairman, I commend you, like Senator Ernst did, for holding this hearing, and Ashley Moody. This is an incredibly important hearing, and it speaks volumes that only the ranking member showed up to denigrate Mr. Shirley's efforts. Quite honestly, that was why he showed up, and not one of them are here talking about these hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars worth of fraud.
Yes, and this is amazing. By the way, I have to issue a correction, and let me do that now up front. Sheldon Whitehouse is the senator from Rhode Island, the nearly all-white state of Rhode Island, not Connecticut. Not the mostly white state of Connecticut, but the almost all-white state of Rhode Island. Almost as white as Vermont with Bernie Sanders. I'm just saying. Because Sheldon Whitehouse from the almost all-white state of Rhode Island, not that it makes a difference to me, I don't care what color people are, but it makes a difference to them. He belongs to that all-white-only country club, Bailey's Beach Club in Newport, Rhode Island, where that's the name of the club, I'm told, where, they don't let black people in. Then no darkies allowed. And so when you hear... And by the way, I say that in quote, because that's what Democrats call us for years, those people like me. I wonder if they would let Obama in if he wanted a membership. I don't think, I don't know. But it's Rhode Island. I had it mixed up with Connecticut. Connecticut has the other two. They have that Blumenthal stolen valor guy up in Connecticut, and then that other Muppet that runs, the other senator that runs around. You know who I'm talking. They've got their own problems in Connecticut. But it's near the nearly all-white state of Rhode Island, where Sheldon Whitehouse, who's moaning about Kash Patel, where his folks won't let people like Kash Patel in their country club. Too dark. You're not welcome here. Whites only. Democrat. Anyway, so there you go. Back to fraud. Senator Johnson also asked Nick Shirley about the Nick Shirley Act in California. Cut 10. This is that, and this is explained very, very briefly but proficiently by Mr. Shirley.
You mentioned the Stop Nick Shirley Act. What is that? I mean, can you describe that in greater detail?
Yeah, so that's a bill that's been created by Mia Bonta, the wife of the Attorney General of California. And the official title is AB 2624, and it's to make it essentially illegal to expose and to film outside of immigration support service providers. That means any entity that provides services to illegal migrants, whether that be healthcare or legal fees. If I were to go out and film a video in front of one of these locations, perhaps an NGO like Churla that's received over $80 million from the government, and they give me a piece of paper and they say, hey, you cannot publish that video. If that bill passes, it'll be illegal for me to.
So it really ought to be renamed the Protect Medicaid Fraudster Act.
Now, while California is trying to pass bills to prevent independent journalists from looking at fraud, they don't want the fraud exposed. They're also doing something else in Sacramento. Cut number 20. This is from News 3 KCRA in Sacramento, California.
Before you roll out your bins, just know your garbage, mixed recycling, and organic waste containers could be inspected.
Yeah, we won't be touching any of the contents, just giving a visual.
The city of Sacramento will have crews checking containers across the city to track if residents are sorting properly.
We conducted the same reviews last June, and we found high contamination levels of.
So get this, folks. Here's the point. And we're going to head to a break. Get this. California refuses to look into the fraud. They're trying to make laws, the Democrats, to stop everybody like Nick Shirley from looking into the fraud. Meanwhile, what are they spending their money on? They're literally sending out garbage police to go inspect the garbage that people put on their curbs to make sure there's not organic waste mixed in with the plastic stuff and everything else. Garbage police. But they will not deal with fraud. It's just unbelievable. Jason Bonham, born in 1966, son of John Bonham, and he also has played with Led Zeppelin. Happy birthday to Jason Bonham. James Golden, Snerdley. When we get back, the clip of the day, we've got two. The clip of the day is coming up. Whatever you do, don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The clip of the day. You want to hear it. It's the clip of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to urge you to do something for the clip of the day. Turn down the background noise. By the way, Argentina has scored twice in the last few minutes. So the colonized are now marching against the colonizers. The colonized are 2, the colonizers are 1. So Argentina is now in the lead. Now, as I said, turn down your radio, turn down the background noise so you can really hear this clip closely. It is Charles Schumer, Chuck U. Schumer, speaking from the Senate floor, United States Capitol, on the Senate floor. Here is Democrat Minority Leader Chuck U. Schumer.
Now on Iran and the NDAA. The American people need to know, of course, how and why this chaos is spreading through their streets, and we need a complete investigation that's independent. Now on Iran and the NDAA.
Okay, stop it. One more time, listen very closely. As he begins to speak, you shall hear a sound that is uncommon from being heard in a speech. Let us listen one more time.
Now on Iran and the NDAA. The American people need to know, of course, how and why this chaos is spreading.
Yes, my friends. You might recognize that sound from when Eric Swalwell was on CNN. He had a similar experience as Chuck U. Schumer. Here's Eric Swalwell on CNN.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And
Chuck U. Schumer. Now, it looked as if he were perhaps on the Senate floor. There was no one close. And of course, did you hear the cough later on? I think perhaps, if you look at this forensically, I think perhaps he was choked himself. All choked up over it. Let's listen to Chuck Schumer one more time.
Now on Iran and the NDAA. The American people...
Goodness. It just went on and on. That's a long one, isn't it? A little humor, ladies and gentlemen, never hurts the situation. So, has there been any updates from World Soccer?
Still 2-1.
Still 2-1.
5 minutes to go.
5 minutes to go. Only 5 minutes left. And the colonizers may be beaten by those that they oppressed in the colonies. We're going to leave you, folks. We have to. But believe me, I'll be keeping my eye on this one. 1946, on this day, Linda Ronstadt was born. Linda Ronstadt, I mentioned that she used to go out with Moon Jerry Brown. And Carlos like, who? Jerry Brown. He says, is that the guy Kamala was with? No, she was with downtown Willie Brown. He's black. Jerry Brown was the governor. He's white. Anyway, Linda Ronstadt, she has suffered debilitating illness. We love it is debilitating illness. She was born on this day in 1946. What a voice. What great music. The great Linda Ronstadt. We got to leave you here, folks. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, and your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being here with me and allowing me to be with you. God willing, we're back tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Fastest hour in American media. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?